Welcome, Leo. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I've pulled for you the Eight of Swords on this winter solstice reading, the winter solstice occurring on the 21st of December. I want to talk about the Eight of Swords and how it is describing your progress along the path of your own in setting clear intentions for your life, understanding best what you need and what you desire in order to experience the reality that you know is best for you. So this is in many ways a sense of anxiety, nervousness, a replaying of fears and the voices, opinions of others crowding your space. And I think at a deeper level, this is you understanding how to relinquish this either-or thinking, this dualistic or binary thinking, to a place of the acceptance of greater multiplicity of perspective in your life. The acceptance that you can hold more than one truth at a time, and more of an both and approach to experience and the intentions you're setting. So this is about not just throwing the baby out with the bathwater. In other words, rejecting an experience, probably one from which you've learned a lot and which once you believed would give you or did give you some joy, some positive support, to a place of really relaxing into what you know to be true for you. This is more of a trust in your intuition rather than in your analytical brain, your logical processes that are leading you, wrapping you, binding you, tying you up in false equivalencies, and that, as I mentioned, either or thinking. It's got to be this or that, rather than it can be both and additionally. That kind of thinking is what you're asked to release, and that power lies within you through a full reign of your intuition, where you know what your truths are. You also know that there can be consequences of your truth that may not be pretty, that your truth may be hard. These are all examples of the way that your intuition can be leading you very powerfully in a direction that you know is right for you. Yes, this is a winter solstice reading. This represents on the calendar the darkest night of the soul, or the darkest night of the year, I should say. And it culminates in the summer solstice, where we have the longest day in the year. So in that way, the winter solstice symbolizes the beginning of Capricorn and the return of the light. This is part of what we are celebrating during the winter mass or the winter holidays, the season where the light returns. And in that way, this can symbolize the way you are restoring intentionality and focus in your life on those things that are most important. That can be any number of things, and it's difficult for me in a general reading to talk more about that except through the symbolic visual language of the tarot. But if you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below, where I'm featuring a half-off sale through the end of the year. Thank you to all of you who are participating. For your present, you have the Sun, and as you know, this is one of your cards. This is about the work that you've been doing to be authentic to your true desires, to your own sense of who you are and your right to be that. The joy in simply pursuing and being yourself. There's so much that you have to give. The Sun, naturally, in the season of the return of the Sun, is about finding our place in the world. It's something we all quest for, right? Our sun signs describe how we're finding that place in the world. But you, Leo, you embody the sense of warmth, of joy, of delight, of the height of summer, right? The summer solstice. This is the playful, creative aspect of doing the work that's necessary to enjoy the world. So this is about restoring the pleasure principle in your experience, recognizing that no matter how hard you are working at whatever you're working at, that you are bringing joy and acknowledgement to others about what a privilege it is to be able to live and work and love in a world that is abundant, where there is enough for everybody. In the past, the Five of Swords is describing a lot of the damage, perhaps I could say, that's been done to you, the hurt that you've sustained by being compared to others, by being so amazing in so many obvious ways that others put a lot of expectation for your success, and that only has pressured you to follow a path perhaps that wasn't a reflection of who you were. It may have encouraged you to look to others for validation of who you are, and you have been working very hard at releasing that, really diminishing, erasing your doubts, having faith in your ideas and your beliefs. When you ask for help, knowing that you're worthy of that help, whether it's withheld from you or not, you now don't let that block you from doing and finding about moving in a direction that may be good for you. That confidence that you have, this beautiful sense of ownership of who you are and the joy and beauty in that now takes you where your ideas take you. If you need help, you've learned how to ask for that. You're learning how to ask for that help in a way that doesn't diminish your own power to achieve what you need to achieve. So this is not about relying on others to do things for you that you have the power, the intelligence, the vision to do for yourself. But it's also not letting yourself be deterred by the negative feedback of others who are really reflecting simply their fears onto you, projecting their fears onto you. In the future, the Four of Cups. For me, the Four of Cups is about you practicing your magic, and what your magic means to you is finding the ways that you choose things that support you. You choose things that feel good to you. You don't take the hard path. You take the path that sees your value, recognizes and appreciates your effort, and supports you in your direction, in your self-chosen direction. Honors that you have gifts and talents that you have a right to develop. And this is moving away from the idea of fitting into something that is hard. If it doesn't feel good, then it isn't for you. But we distinguish between just not wanting to do the work, being afraid to do the work, not believing that we can achieve something, and thus shrinking from the work, to understanding that we're willing to do the work if it's something that we know feels good, lifts us up, values us, and creates an environment that empowers you to understand that whatever is offered to you is negotiable. That if an offer doesn't look adequate or feel like a match to you, then you can negotiate that. Doesn't mean you have to throw it away or release it without consideration. And that consideration can be having a conversation so that you're prepared to move on if this is something that isn't going to work for you. So this is what I mean when I say you're learning to work your magic based on a place of self-love, self-respect, self-dignity. you honoring who you are and making evaluations based on what your desires and needs are. If this reading is resonating for you, Leo, please like this video, please share this with others, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. And I pulled what I pulled for another fire sign, the grief card. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. And this is very relevant to those of you who may have experienced a lot. And this message comes through for fire signs often because of your talent, because of your outgoing personality. You attract a lot of opportunities to you. There are many people that want to include you, want to know you, want to possess you, want to touch you. And that can be something that you have had to sacrifice as you have explored new ways of being who you are, finding new joys, new things that challenge you appropriately to your internal power. And that authenticity of experience has become more important than all of the superficial flattery and adulation, admiration that you have experienced. So this is, in many ways, you're making a sacrifice, but also understanding that you can miss some of that superficial flattery, joy, popularity that you may have experienced in the past. It's okay to be sad about some of that, to wish you had some of that, but know that that ultimately is not going to take you very far. In the present, the Sun card is clarified by the Four of Wands and the King of Cups. There's a strong feeling here. Not only has your own personal maturity allowed you to appreciate your own gifts and talents in a way that is giving you a lot of joy, and it's also acknowledging the struggle that you've gone through to achieve this sense of greater wholeness, but you've also learned to honor the learning process itself. You may be in a position to mentor younger people, to be a supportive parent, to guide others in a way that helps them to grow and naturally allows you to grow and share what you've learned with others. This is a cause of celebration for you. This is bringing to you the things that you truly want in your life, the things you truly value, the ability to grow, to expand, to explore the world, to discover new aspects of yourself and the world, and also the ability to help others who are struggling in ways similar to yours and in different ways for which you are not lacking in compassion, wisdom, care, simply being a sounding board or a healing energy in their lives. In the past, the Five of Swords is clarified by the Ten of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, I think you've begun understanding the tremendous privilege you've had in your life. Wherever you've been, whatever you have or don't have, you recognize that there are many people that don't have the opportunities you have. You may have benefited through some kind of a family inheritance or largesse. You may have benefited from aid, funding, scholarships, whatever ways in which you have been socially acknowledged for your talents, for your skills, and encouraged in a way that has been concrete, that has gifted you with opportunities. And you realize that you're in a position to give that back, to pay it forward. And that's where you are now envisioning the work that you do in guiding others is part of something that you would like to ground in some way, make more of a program or an institution. Perhaps you are in a position of being a benefactor, a patron, or to create some charitable service. This is something that you realize will outlive you and is an important representative of your values. In the future, the Four of Cups is clarified by the Knight of Cups and the Ten of Wands. Through the growth that you are experiencing, the sacrifices you've made, you have really come to understand that what seemed like the golden path, the charmed life, really was an owner's responsibility. What's coming to mind is the golden cage, right? And for some reason I think of Mariah Carey when I say that, so forgive me if there's relevance for some of you. I'm glad. But the idea that you actually now are choosing a different path. You are sacrificing the superficial privileges or possessions or access that you had in favor of creating a path that feels good to you, that actually supports and heals you, that loves you, that respects your own self-respect, your own dignity, your own sense of wholeness as a person, that you don't have to conform to what others believe if you're truly giving and generous from your heart. And that generosity includes the ability to negotiate the things that you truly want, even with those who offer you or who have given you something that ended up hurting you. You understand that anything can be crafted into something different if you're open to being explicit about the terms of that exchange. And you're coming from a true place of healing, of love, and that love includes self-respect. I'm going to finish up this reading, Leo, with a flora and fauna of Africa in homage to the motherland and to Mother Earth. And the spotted hyena has come out, and its keyword is protection. Trust your intuition and instinct. Watch your surroundings and choose your words carefully. I hope this has been helpful to you. Happy winter solstice. Until next time, namaste.